Mark Denham on Atom Radio.
Hello, welcome to the Atom Radio Drive Time Best Bits podcast, episode 44. We put best bits in quotes because, well, it's opinionative, isn't it? It is a Saturday morning as this goes out. If you are enjoying the weekend, hello to you. If you're listening at another time, hello to you as well. On the way, we will have the best bits of this week's Drive Time. A short week because Monday would be cheating. Monday was breakfast and therefore not a best bit of Drive Time. But we have managed to squeeze in this week an opportunity for you to adopt a payphone. That's right. One of those red phone boxes. You can adopt one of those dirt cheap. Embarrassing bodies and breaking a rule of broadcasting. I'll tell you more about the rule at the end of the podcast. An important question on how you choose your football club. And you know this trend with crocs and shaving foam? Well, one lady has surpassed it. I mean, they're horrible, horrible footwear, crocs anyway, aren't they? But one lady has absolutely surpassed the whole point to this crocs and shaving foam fad that's going around the internet. It is episode 44, the best bits of Atom Radio's Drive Time. Here they come. Enjoy.
Atom Radio. Ooh, yeah. Playing the music you want to hear.
Mark Denham.
AtomRadio.co.uk.
Streaming from Slough in the United Kingdom and playing all around the world. These phone boxes then in the UK, you can adopt a phone box for just £1. The BT red phone boxes are up for grabs. Across England right now, 3,683 phone boxes are up for grabs as part of the Adopt a Kiosk scheme, and hundreds more are available in Wales and Scotland. So far, more than 5,800 payphones have been adopted by communities in the last 11 years. Some of them have been turned into libraries, some art museums, and even the world's smallest nightclub is in one in Devon. That's for you if you don't have many friends when you're going out partying. Dynamic growth in mobile phone use has seen the number of calls made from old-fashionable payphones tumble by 90% in the past decade. The good news is, if you adopt a phone box for £1, BT will continue to provide light to the power for the light to the phone box, absolutely free to the communities. Now, what would you stick in it? Some of the suggestions are that you could have a defibrillator in there. What I'm thinking is what you need in there, because it's a phone box, stick in loads and loads of USB ports, use BT's power to power the mobile phone. Stick in a charging station in a phone box. Great idea.
Drive Time with Mark Denham.
Mark with you on Drive Time. I did post at the weekend, am I part of the trilogy, a very small trilogy that's never watched Avengers Endgame, never watched Peaky Blinders, and never watched Game of Thrones? And a couple of people said, no, you're not on your own. What if I was to now make it a quadruple? Because I've also never watched Line of Duty. So is there anyone that's never watched Avengers Endgame, Game of Thrones, Peaky Blinders, and Line of Duty? Or am I on my own now?
Drive time with Mark Denham.
5:16 Drive Time for Tuesday. Hello to you if you have just got online. You are very welcome. It is Mark streaming from Slough in the UK, and we're talking about this UK TV programme, Embarrassing Bodies. I'm asking, would you go on it or would you not? There's a lady called Charlotte who took part in the show. Now, Charlotte's condition is, I would imagine, annoying, certainly annoying for her. But I wouldn't go as far as to say it's embarrassing. Charlotte went on there because she has a lazy eye, which is also known as a squint. And she said she was heavily bullied for over a decade when she was younger because she wore glasses. She needed a high prescription, but the bullying was so intense that she chose not to wear them, which made her vision suffer. She asked for contact lenses, but was told surgery was the only option. And after several tests, it was determined that she could get severe double vision and her brain wouldn't be able to learn that both eyes needed to act as a pair. So she went against it. Anyway, she eventually went on the show in the hope that they could fix her lazy eye. Now, that isn't as bad as like some things. But I mean, can you imagine going on the TV on this embarrassing bodies thing, going on the TV with something that is actually embarrassing? And you have to, I don't know, so you have to get your chap out, you know, that'd be a bit much, wouldn't it? Like, you know, you've got a lazy eye, yeah, go on it. Hopefully they can fix it or something like that. But if it's something that involves getting out, you know, your intimate bits, getting your chap out on TV, here, have a look at this. definitely, it would be a no from me. Not that there's anything wrong with mine, by the way.
Drive Time with Mark Denham.
It is 5:20. Here we are on Tuesday, the 7th of May, streaming from Slough in the United Kingdom. I'm just trying to have a look here at some of the most embarrassing cases for embarrassing bodies. Let's have a little look. Mohammed from Edinburgh. What happened to Mohammed from Edinburgh? Hold on. Oh dear. Mohammed from Edinburgh lost his chap at the age of 6 and would now like to perform with the wife. And wanted genital reconstruction surgery. Now, I did say, didn't I, a few moments ago, imagine you have to go and, get your chap out on TV, and that's one thing. But then imagine going and getting nothing out on TV. Doctor, there is a problem. You're telling me.
Mark Denham.
AtomRadio.co.uk.
We're talking football in this hour. Now, this is to do with the 2 games that took place in the Champions League, with now an all-English final to be played. My question was yesterday on Facebook, do you live in, or were you born in, the town of the area represented by the football club you support? Because I tell you for why. A lot of people who live, say, in Slough, you see a lot of Manchester United tops, a lot of Liverpool tops, and you're thinking, okay, were you born in Manchester? Have you lived in Manchester? Do you have a relative that was born in Manchester? Same for Liverpool. And my question was, why don't you support? Because Slough Town are they're a small league club, okay? Same with Maidenhead United, small league club. I'm thinking, why don't you support the nearest, if you want to support professional football, the nearest club to you, which would be the Watford or Brentford, I would say, maybe Reading. And if you're looking, like top flight clubs, then you've got the London ones, haven't you? If you're living in Slough, that's only 25 miles away. So you've got like Chelsea, Arsenal, Tottenham. Why don't you support those? And how on earth, if you weren't born in nor lived in Manchester or Liverpool, how on earth do you end up supporting Manchester or Liverpool? If you're born in Slough, lived your whole life in Slough, how is it you end up a Manchester United fan? That was my question yesterday. And this caused a bit of controversy, I have to say, on the old Facebook. It did cause a bit of controversy. I think, though, and I still think now, even like a day on, I still think it's a valid question.
Drive Time with Mark Denham.
So I am excited. It's drive time, and it's Mark with you until 7 o'clock tonight. This story is quite a sad story, but it does have... I'm not even... Actually, do you know what? I'm not even going to go into the story because it is quite sad, and then I would be trivialising the story if I was to tell you the story that it's related to. But it involves 2 people and a story that we did a couple of weeks ago on one of our Daily Decider polls, and that was, if you were to get married, would you hyphenate your name or double barrel your name or whatever you want to call it? Would you hyphenate it? And I said, imagine if 2 people who both had double-barreled names were to then get married. Would they then quadruple-barrel their names? Now, judging by this story, they are not going to get married. They're definitely not going to get married at all. But he has a double-barreled name, and his now ex-girlfriend has a double-barreled name. They're obviously not together anymore because she's his ex-girlfriend. Without going into the details of the story, they're not together anymore. But imagine that, though. What are the chances of Mr. Double-Barreled meeting Miss Double-Barreled, getting married, and becoming Mr. and Mrs. Quadruple-Barreled? What are the chances?
Drive time with Mark Denham.
A couple have bought themselves one of the self-driving Teslas and then filmed a video which has gone viral on an adult site last week. The Tesla was in self-drive mode when an independent porn star and her boyfriend record their video for 10 minutes. Now, I wouldn't have recorded the video and put it viral, but I certainly don't think I'd be able to concentrate on what I was doing whilst the car was driving itself, if you get what I'm saying. It's just a scary thought, isn't it?
Mark Denham.
AtomRadio.co.uk.
4:15, Friday, the 10th of May, 2019. And you are on Atom Radio. Cheers for sticking us on today. Stories emerged of a hero in America. It's a bus driver who saved a schoolboy's life. She pulled over to let Matthew Squires off the bus, and Samantha Call, the driver, then spotted somebody overtaking her bus. She yanked the boy back into the bus just as he was about to get off the bus, and the car went screeching past. Probably would have hit him. After saving the youngster, she honked her horn while a schoolgirl sat in the bus's front seat said that was a good grab. Matthew told NBC2, the last thing I remember was getting yanked back in and the car flying by. Matthew's mum, Christina, also heaped praise on Samantha's quick thinking, saying, I honestly cried. Now, my question here is, right, in the UK, the bus pulls over and the door is on the left. So the bus pulls over to the side of the road, the door is on the left, and anybody who's overtaking would overtake on the right. And that's how it works. In America, you would imagine, because they drive on the right, the door is on the right, so the bus pulls over, you get out the door to the right of the bus, which is what this bus looks like. Anybody overtaking should be going round the left. Or the driver didn't pull over in the right place. It's one or the other, because how else would the bus be overtaken on the side where the boy's about to step out unless the driver was driving down the pavement? That's what I don't get about this story.
Drive Time with Mark Denham.
There's a trend going around on the internet at the moment to do with Crocs. You know, the horrendous footwear that people are wearing, these rubber things with holes in and that. I bet you get funny suntans as well when you wear them, but you know what I'm saying though. There's a craze going around at the moment where you squirt shaving foam into it, then put your foot in and you film the shaving foam coming out. These people must have nothing better to do. But one lady though has now taken it to a whole different level. She said that Crocs were a little bit boring, all things considered. So this lady, Sleepy Luca, has done it now with a different pair of shoes. They're kind of aerated shoes. She's put shaving foam in them and it's come out in like millions and millions of little squirts and streams now. Fantastic stuff. Not. So yeah, if you are bored this weekend, squirt shaving foam in your shoe and film yourself putting your foot in. Alternatively, just keep listening to Atom Radio.
AtomRadio.co.uk.
So let's go back a little earlier and talk about that broken rule of broadcasting. Embarrassing bodies, okay? So I read the piece about the lady with the lazy eye, and I do hope that she got the help she wanted. And I thought, that's not really that embarrassing, though, is it? Not in comparison to some of the stories that you do hear of on embarrassing bodies. So I had a little look, and as the song was ending, I was thinking, I've not really found anything. I clicked on this link, and it had, just in the title on Google where I looked, it had Mohammed from Edinburgh. I thought, that'll do. That's fine. He's been on embarrassing bodies. That'll do. And then you find out that it's actually quite a serious case, and you're just about to trivialize it. And there is a rule in broadcasting that you should never say something that you've not at least read or thought about before. And there was me reading it out on the radio without actually ever having read it before. Oh, well, never mind. You live and learn. You're going to think about your football club as well. How do you choose your football club? I'm still not convinced by the number of long-distance fans of these so-called popular clubs. I reckon it's just because they're popular and the fans believe they have a chance of winning. But anyway, each to their own. That's episode 44 of the Best Bits of Drive Time podcast. Done and dusted. Thank you so much for having a listen. If you haven't already, make sure you subscribe. Then you will get to hear episode 45. You'll get notified when it releases next Saturday. Whatever you're doing this week, have a fantastic week. Catch me Monday to Friday, 3 until 7 on atomradio.co.uk. You can listen for free via TuneIn. You can listen on iTunes Radio and on your smart speaker as well. 3 until 7, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday and Friday. And if you can't make any of those, we'll have another Best Bits podcast for you next week.
Atom Radio. Ooh, yeah. Playing the music you want to hear.
Mark Denham.
AtomRadio.co.uk.